Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for, I had to look, February 3rd. I never know what day it is. It's okay. But welcome, everybody. Tonight we have, I'm trying to get the link here to pop up, and it's not popping up. Tonight we're going to be talking about a night of, what is it called? Knights of the Seven Kingdom? I don't even know what it's called. I'm really losing my mind, which I've actually seen this time. So I'm caught up on something at least. And then you guys have Night Manager and what was the other thing? You guys
Starfleet
have
Academy.
What is it? Oh, Starfleet Academy, yeah, which I have not seen, but I've at least seen one of them this time. But we're going to talk about that. But everybody, please like the video, hype it if you can, subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision, and I will say, since I'm not going to be here the whole show, don't forget to join us tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for our review of the next 3 episodes of Wonder Man, which will be 4, 5, and 6. We also have a watch party at 8:30 Eastern in Discord, which the link I've already posted in the chat. If you're not a member, please make sure you become one. Also, I know I just want to mention, since everybody is talking about this, whatever it is for From that's coming out tomorrow, I would guess it is likely a trailer since it's been announced something's coming. I have no clue. There's been nothing officially announced. But whatever happens, we'll, I'm sure, be talking about it. And as soon as I get anything official on premiere date or anything like that, I will let everybody know. But we'll be, of course, covering From when it does come out and doing interviews and all that fun stuff. But that's, not quite yet, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. But yeah, stay tuned. But for now, we will do Dunk and Egg. Karen's not here. She came in the wrong place.
Yeah, that's what I think she did.
Yeah, probably. She might have.
I think she clicked on the Wonder Man show.
Just so she doesn't press start and screw it up because I'd have to redo it.
She asked where we were. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Actually, I did a double take. I looked at the top of the screen to make sure I was in the right place.
No, we're in the right one. We're in the right one. Hey, Kimberly. Yes, I hope so. I think if it's a trailer, it will probably have a start date. That's my guess. But I don't know. Everybody's been saying April, and I just keep telling everybody it's not official until it's official. Doesn't mean it's not true. It just means it's been a rumor until now. But hopefully we'll find out tomorrow. But Karen is trying to get in here. But we might as well start with Dunk and Egg. I guess I can at least talk a little bit about it since you guys didn't hear from me last time. Look, I didn't think that I would actually like the show. I didn't expect to. I thought the first episode, and I know we're not talking specifically about the first episode, but I actually thought it was kind of boring. Well, by the time I got to the end, though, I liked it. So I don't know if it just because it wasn't my kind of thing that it took me a while to get into it. But now that I've watched, there's Karen. But now that I've watched 3 of them, I actually like it. I mean, if we weren't covering it for the show, I don't know that I would keep watching it just because of my lack of time, not because I don't like it, because I did like it. But yeah, this genre isn't necessarily something I'm always excited about, but I did enjoy it. I did like it, other than, like I said to you guys, the horse stuff. I don't like animals, especially right now, being hurt. So other than that, I liked it. But yeah.
But the human who was crushed under the falling horse.
I didn't care about him. I cared about the horse. I also cared he sold his horse. I was more concerned with the fact he sold his horse. I want him to get his horse back. That was more upsetting to me, I think.
His horse would get them both killed in a joust, right? He had to sell that horse because he needed the money, and it wasn't a good joust horse.
Yeah, he needs the armor, or they're all going to get killed. Both of them would get killed.
The horse
He did tell the horse he'll try to buy her back if he can.
Yes, he did.
Yes, be able to.
Karen, did you log into the wrong show?
No, I logged into the show a really long time ago because I was uploading photographs, and I guess it just
refresh. That's what it is.
I guess.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, at least you got it fixed now. So you guys are probably, as we do this, going to have to help me figure out which episode's which, because I might
that's okay.
Get confused because I watched
it all in one fell swoop today.
Yeah, I did. Which I don't know if that made it better or not, because I feel like if I'd watched the first one and then stopped, I may never have finished it. So
this one didn't have any nudity. There was no pooping or peeing.
Oh yeah, God, I could have done without the human pooping. The horse pooping was funny because that was kind of like a fuck you to the kid, and it was kind of funny. But the guy, I could have really done without seeing him take a shit. I mean, the guy's good looking and everything, but I really don't have to see him go to the bathroom on screen. Thank you. So yeah, I figured when I saw that, I thought, well, you guys said it wasn't super violent. I guess they're trying to make up for that. It is HBO. But other than that, it was pretty good.
That's also a little bit about making this clear that this is not Game of Thrones. This is about the common people, right?
Yeah.
That have to like poop in a tree. There's no, well, it's not that there's no kings in this, but this isn't really a story about a struggle for a throne.
Hey, Debbie. Welcome. Yeah, I don't know though that it was really necessary. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I didn't have to see him shit on a tree.
No. Well, it was, you know what, I agree. But you know what's funny about it, Jamie, is I know you didn't watch the other shows, but it starts with the classic Game of Thrones tune for a second, and it's like dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I get it. I just think it was a little overkill. Like they could have even shown him like squatting by the tree. I didn't need to physically see it. That grossed me out. I mean, I know it's not real. Don't get me wrong, but at least I sure as hell hope not. But yeah, it was a bit.
It's an achievement.
It was a bit. It what, Karen?
Said it's an achievement in special effects.
Yes, but it was an achievement I could have definitely done without. That I thought was a little overkill. But I get it. Wasn't horribly bad.
So episode 3.
Yes, episode 3. So let me get my pictures up, and hopefully I can remember which episode we are on because, like I said, I did watch it all together. So, it did not. Hold on. I made the I'm saying mistake because I know it's driving me nuts. I upgraded to Windows 11, and now it does weird shit, which includes it's not sorting these, no matter how many times I do it, by when I took it, and I think they're out of order.
All right, well,
that's at the end.
That's what I thought. So why is it showing me that? It shouldn't be. Hold on. I'll get the right one up. I just got to open it. Keep talking.
I'm going to come on screen with you guys in a second. Episode 3 begins with Egg wakes up early in the morning and is like doing this cute little like Squire practice while Dunk is still asleep.
Yes. Whoops. Yes, he's
training. Kind of really cute. The way he's kind of prepping for, I mean, he's clearly, Dunk has never been a knight. Egg has never been a squire. And it's cute how he's, trying to practice and get himself ready and get this horse to work with him a little bit so that, Egg also has to be able to perform to not get Dunk killed. To hand him up. So, AJ, how do you like this episode?
He's trying harder than Dunk is, though, right now.
Yeah. How do you like this episode, AJ?
I loved it. It's so much fun. They're sticking. And the best part is they're really sticking close to the books.
Oh yeah.
Like, a couple changes here and there, but it's. I can't wait for the next episode.
Oh, because
I already know what's gonna. I have a pretty good idea what the next episode's gonna be because this is episode. Oh, this was only episode 3, so
3 of 6.
The way 3 of 6. Yeah, it's got the next episode is gonna be.
That's
really fun.
funny that they're so short for this kind of show. Really,
Jimmy,
the novel's only 100 pages.
It's really a novella.
Yeah, it's a novella. It's only 100 pages.
So I just wonder why they didn't make like a mini series or something instead of trying to.
There's a mini series. 6 episodes is a mini series.
Yes, I guess. Yeah, I just am surprised they didn't do like 3 1-hour things.
I mean, I'm glad they did 6. I think. I think I'd rather watch 6 than 3, and then I'd be sad it was over. And it probably has to do also with the way that HBO schedules things, and what holes they need to fill in their calendar and when. And I think that J.R.R. Martin was really involved in this, so his opinion.
He was. That's another thing too, though. Even though they're short, they always have those after credits things that they do. They always do those short little behind the scenes things. So
I can never. I haven't seen any for this show. HBO makes it so hard to watch those with the autoplay to the next crap they want me to watch. Right?
I never watch any of that stuff anyway.
I just skipped through it, so I didn't worry about it. But I was using the app. It seemed okay.
HBO wants to make you watch Shrinking immediately afterwards, and like it cuts it cuts
Shrinking.
away from that. They were always advertising me to watch Shrinking.
Shrinking's Apple, I think.
Yeah, Shrinking's on Apple.
Maybe it's industry. I don't know. Some HBO's always trying to make me watch something. Anyway,
they all do.
I shut it off before it got to that point. So, because I was trying to get through them before we had our show, so I didn't even look. But I don't know.
So anyway, sorry, I digressed.
That's okay. Sorry, these are a little dark, the beginning ones. So I was saying he's kind of doing more work than Dunk is. But I like that. He's really trying to help him as best he knows how. But yeah, they're kind of both learning together. Now, I'm assuming this guy is somebody important. I'll be honest, I couldn't keep track of the names of the characters, less so than I normally can. I know I normally don't remember names to begin with. But yeah, I'll just call this guy Odin because I'll remember that. But I did like their conversation. I get that he thinks he stole it, but I think it was funny when he's like, "Where's your hair?" And he's like, "Where's your eye?" or "What happened to your eye?" or whatever. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, he finally figures out, I guess, who he is. So I'm assuming that this guy is important, I guess. I didn't, other than he was one of the people jousting, that was the extent I got out of it because I couldn't follow who was who. Again, sprawling fantasy, not really my thing anymore. I don't know what, I don't even think I'd like Lord of the Rings if I watched it now. Not like I did.
You love the Wheel of Time. And that's a sprawling.
I did like Wheel of Time. I'll give you that. But like, I don't know. That was more fantasy. This is more right now, just like medieval jousting. So there's not enough sci-fi in the fantasy right now for me. How's that? But yeah, it was funny. And like I said, I didn't dislike it. I just, I prefer more sci-fi elements in there. But I don't know. Is he important? You guys know more than I, or AJ at least would know more than I would. Is he important? Or not really? Not really. Okay.
No.
I thought he was going to become important. I didn't know.
He's just another, I mean, I forget his name. Sometimes, Jamie, these people, their names will, if you have watched and read, they'll identify themselves as like they're maybe part of somebody who becomes a great family 100 years from now, or is currently like a lot of these surnames are familiar to some of us, but because this takes place 100 years before Game of Thrones, none of this is familiar to any of us.
Yeah, the only thing I recognize is when they said Lannister and it Targaryen? I don't know how to pronounce it. I recognize those two names, and that was the extent of what I got. And I know Tanajan is the dragon girl. That's all.
Targaryen.
Okay, well I know that's the dragon girl. That's all I know.
If you're serious, continue to be disturbed because there's no dragons in this.
There was a puppet. That was something, right?
Okay, there's a puppet, but yeah, the dragons are dead. Whoops.
Yeah.
Where this takes place, Jamie, is, I mean, I think this is probably more like 200 years, I think, ahead of Game of Thrones, because House of the Dragon.
No, this is 90 years.
Yeah, and House of the Dragon is more like 200 years. So, I mean, the thing that you need to know as you come into the show, everyone, is that the Targaryens, who are these blonde-headed, inbred royal family, they've held the throne for like 200 years, and people are really kind of sick of them, and they're kind of, some of them are kind of crazy because they're so inbred and stuff. I mean, is that a good summary, AJ?
Yeah, but it's been more than 200 years though.
Okay. I was gonna say, I did know when they said the throne of iron or whatever, I did know what that meant at least. That was something. Yeah. I can pick that up without having watched any of it.
And the dragons have died out. There are no dragons anymore by the time of this show.
Wait, this is after Game of Thrones. I thought you meant this was before that.
It's after House of the Dragon, before Game of Thrones.
So dragons come back then?
Yes. In Game of Thrones, dragons come back.
All right, got it.
Spoiler alert for anyone who didn't watch it.
Yeah. I kind of, we know they come back, so you don't have to watch it to know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of it is them getting to know each other. I think that the two of them together, to me, is the part of the show I did like and connect with. Their relationship, they're cute together. This kind of, what do we call it? Teacher-student, I guess would be the best way to say it, friendship that is between them and brewing. And he's reluctantly starting to like Egg. And yeah, because obviously at first he kind of pushes him away, but I like it. And I'm probably skipping a lot of things. So if I skip anything, tell me, because I just watched it. I'm trying to remember details, and it's kind of all blurring together into one long thing because I watched it all together. So this is the girl that does the puppet show, whose name is
Cancel.
Tansel.
Cancel. Okay.
Tansel, yeah.
And he likes her. That was not surprising that there was going to be some, little romance thing going on, which obviously is going to not go so well, probably for him. But we, a lot of that's yet to be seen. They're cooking their goose eggs, which look like ostrich eggs.
Goose eggs are very big.
They are.
When he cracked them, I was like, holy
More
crap.
like ostrich eggs than goose eggs, but very big eggs. Well, at least he has, because he did sell the horse, at least he has some money for them to eat. Although I don't know if yet he sold it. Was that the episode before?
Yeah, it was the second episode. Yeah, he already sold the horse.
They have some money for food, at least, right now, since he sold it. And he got his armor, or he's getting his armor. I guess it's not done yet, but he's able to pay for his armor. So at least he can joust and hopefully live through it, even if he doesn't win. And there's a lot of them watching the jousting. See, that's the part I think that I was kind of like, like didn't really pay attention to a lot of the jousting, because to me that wasn't really interesting. But again, I guess if you like this kind of show, maybe it's a little more interesting. To me, it's like people on horses hurting each other, and I'm more worried the horse is going to get hurt, which happens in this one, than I am actually like being like, whoa, I get it's choreographed really well, but yeah, not really my thing.
Don't you guys ever go watch jousting at the Renaissance Festival?
Those aren't real lances. They're not going to hurt the horse.
I don't know about where you guys live, but at our Renaissance Festival, you cannot even get into the joust. You have to go get your seat 45 minutes before the joust.
Oh, wow.
People are really into it.
It is your national. It is the Baltimore national pastime. So
it's Maryland's state sport.
I love that picture though with Egg's face.
Yeah.
I love this too.
I love when they're watching the jousting, because Egg is so into it. It's so and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really having a good time.
They're doing it together. And I think this is where he asks him if he can still be his squire, and he tells him if he wins, he can. I think that's what that scene was. So yeah, he's agreed to keep him around. And a lot of it, I feel like he is, because of the way he's remembering like his own, the guy, I don't know his name, I don't remember, but his own teacher, what's his name? Arlen. Okay, yes, Arlen, that had died. He's remembering how he helped him, and he was, had no one, and that he took care of him and brought him up. And it seems like this guy, it's sad because even, is saying he was a really good guy. He helped everybody, but like nobody remembers him. The thing is some of it, I wonder, is it nobody remembers him or nobody gives a shit to actually pay attention to what he's saying? I don't necessarily, yeah. I
think there's a little bit. I mean, I haven't read the book. I'm not privy to any inner monologue that might have happened in that book, but I think there's a little bit of Dunk having an idealized version in his head of who Sir Arlen was. I'm sure he was a good guy, but all these victories that he had that no one remembers. I kind of wonder, are they maybe the guy embellished his history a little bit, and maybe Dunk really looked up to. I feel like maybe it's not. Maybe he's not as glorious as Dunk wants to think, or maybe there's just so many guys that fought in all these battles, like we saw in last week's episode, that the Lord's like, I can't remember every guy who fought on my side and died. There were 800 guys that I made fight in my battle with me, right?
Yeah. But he did say that he never actually won a tournament.
Yes.
But he lived through them, so he still did good. And he was saying how is he Prince, that one guy that he didn't even make him pay him back to get his stuff back. And I took it that was maybe because Arlen was such a nice guy, and potentially, I don't know, because they didn't really go into that, but he seemed like he was nice to everybody. money. He just
it
wasn't.
also shows Baylor's character too.
Yeah, that too. Hey,
I'm gonna answer Kimberly real quick. Let me put it this way: if I recommend the book or not, so when Game of Thrones started, I had not read anything. I watched the first season of Game of Thrones, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of curious to see where this goes. The first book's not that long. I'm going to read it. So I started reading all the Game of Thrones books.
Quite an undertaking, but yeah.
I then, heard about, Dunk and Egg, and I was like, oh, these are short. I was like, I want to check these out too. I read The Hedge Knight, and I could not wait to read the next one. So I read all 3 of them in probably about a week because they're not that long.
Yeah.
And then when Game of Thrones started, running down, and they were talking about all these, spin-offs and everything, I was like, they need to make a Dunk and Egg show. If they make nothing else, they need to make a Dunk and Egg show. So yes, I would recommend reading the books because honestly, it's probably the best thing George R.R. Martin has written, and it's finished.
If they're going to do one book per season, is that the plan?
Yeah, book per season. Yep.
The plan is 3 seasons. Yeah.
Hey, B, welcome. All right.
I don't know, but with no dragons, this is much more limited CGI. Maybe they could come out a little faster.
Yeah, that's true. No, this
don't get
guy,
into that.
Also, you have a kid, so they might. I don't know if the next book, I don't know if all these books involve this kid being a kid, or if they will pick up later, or you have to rush so this kid doesn't grow up.
That's a good point. Well, each story takes place about a year later. Actually, I don't remember how long it is between the second and third book, but I know the next book is about a year later.
I feel like certain show, I feel like the game people have learned a little from Stranger Things. I've heard that the new HBO Harry Potter, they're planning to go right back into production on the second season right away to keep these kids from growing up, to keep them from getting behind the kids' growth. So yeah. I don't know if they're
going to take at least 10 years though, but that's probably just all together.
But so for this, maybe this will come a little quicker as we wait for this child to not grow up so fast. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Kimberly said she heard they plan to do 12 seasons. Are you talking about for Harry Potter or for this, for Dunk and Egg?
Potter. I think so about
Potter. I'm not sure they have that much. I don't think they have. I don't think they have 12 years of content for this. But Harry Potter,
to get more than 3 seasons if Martin writes a 4th book, because he has talked about revisiting Dunk and Egg.
Oh, Kimberly means for this series. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know where you read that, but that's not possible.
Yeah. We'd have to go way beyond.
Unless that was just kind of like a wishful thinking. I'd love to do it for 12 seasons.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt that, but who knows? I don't know. All right. So this guy that I just looked at his name and you made me forget already what it was, a plumber. So this guy is basically like, I have a proposition for you. We're going to cheat so you win and you take money. We get money because we're going to bet on you. I kind of wonder though, why tell him? Why not just set it up so he wins and bet on him? Part of me was like, why are you telling this guy? He seems like a good guy. He's going to say no. And you could have just done it and not said anything, but he tells them. And, Dunk's like, I'll think about it. I'm assuming that he's probably going to say no and win anyway, but I don't know. At least that would be what my hero story.
I'll explain why they told him. Because you have to choose your opponent.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this is all fake thing, and that guy's going to try to beat his ass. In other words, I'm guessing now.
He needs Dunk to choose him as his opponent, so that he can. Right.
Yeah, but I'm saying he probably thinks the guy will beat Dunk. I doubt they're really betting on Dunk. Then that's probably a lie.
No. They need the person that he's going against, that they're all going to bet on. They need him to know so that he chooses him to be the opponent.
And this
right,
guy,
did they really think Dunk will win?
no. The guy, they're already planning that they're going to throw the joust because their house is broke and they need to make a lot of money. So they're going to bet their younger son, who they want Dunk to joust against, is going to throw the
Okay,
match, lose
I didn't
on
realize he
purpose.
was in on it. I missed that part. Okay.
Lose on purpose, and they will make a whole bunch of money by betting on. They're going to bet on Dunk the underdog and make a ton of money, but it's fixed. And then Dunk is like, "No, I don't want to win. That's fixed."
Okay, I didn't realize. I get what you mean now. They had to pick it, but I thought maybe after the way AJ said that, I thought maybe it was like a setup. Like pick him, he's going to throw it, and then he doesn't. But yeah. Either way, otherwise, I don't think he would win against him.
I mean, a big thing about that is that runs through some of these Game of Thrones and really any show about a big landed aristocracy is they never have any money. It takes not that they never have any money, but you have to be so rich to run these castles and have all these people and and if you're not one of the big 7 families, you're always scrambling for money. And this is their plan, is to throw the match, bet on Dunk, who nobody thinks can win, and then let him win and make a fortune.
Yeah.
Right.
Which would be in his best interest to say, okay, but of course he's probably not going to. We don't get an answer yet, but I'm guessing he's going to say no, because that just seems like that's where it's going.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's trying to talk him into it. He isn't trying to force him or anything. He's just trying to get him to think it's a good idea. And then this is the guy that agreed to let him play in the games and said that he remembered him, Balin, and said that he remembered Arlen, which he seemed to really remember him. But he did say that Arlen exaggerated that he won more rounds than he did. I guess the idea is that he did beat Arlen, but it was very hard to beat Arlen, and he was also impressed by him, I think, which might have been why he didn't make him pay him back. But they seem to get along, and he does seem like he might be a decent guy, but we'll have to wait and see. And then this is the blonde, right? This is one of
Arian.
That's Prince Arian. He's
Arian. Okay.
But he is a son of he's way down the line of succession. He is not the son of the king. His father is one of the king's brothers.
Okay, so he wasn't the one that they wanted him to joust with, though. He's a different brother.
No. He's very we met him earlier in the season. He's a dick.
Yeah, we definitely met him easier. Yeah, he's the one that assumed that Dunk was a stable boy and stable person, and was very rude to him. And this is where he fights against the other rider, and he purposely stabs the horse. Because Dunk even says right away he can tell he's going too low, so it was quite obvious that he did it on purpose.
Which is kind of like a
football player breaking somebody's leg, or no, an ice skater breaking somebody's leg.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's
I was gonna say, is it cheating? It's definitely a dirty move, but nobody's going to call the prince out on it, right?
Yeah. Well, it's also back then. Now maybe, but not back then. I mean,
they do have rules around these things, but he is the prince, and the Targaryens are the Targaryens also, many of them are renowned for their cruelty, which we will see later in this episode, right? Yeah. So nobody's going to call out the prince on his low blow.
At any rate, he stabs the horse, and they have to put the horse down, which was awful. Everybody's pissed. They're all fighting about it.
Really, Jamie. I mean, yes, it wasn't nice, but of all the scenes I've seen of animals being it
wasn't bad.
It was not gory as it could have been.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Karen, to be fair, Jamie would get sad if an animal had a hangnail.
Hey, be nice. Look, I don't like them killing animals, but you're right. It wasn't super gory. It wasn't super bad or anything. I mean, I didn't like it, but it wasn't like
it was. And it was like 5 seconds, and it was over. It wasn't.
Yeah, and it was over, and I know I agree with you. But everybody's kind of rioting there after this all goes down. Egg's not happy. He doesn't like it, and he's the one that tells Dunk he thinks he did it on purpose. And Dunk's like, he's I was gonna say a soldier. He's a knight. A knight wouldn't do that. Obviously, he takes being a knight much differently than these other people do.
He has
and before it happened, Dunk even said that he was riding his joust was low.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was obvious that that guy would have known that if he knew what he was doing. I was trying to see if I could find this guy's name. I like this guy.
That's Lionel Baratheon.
Lionel Baratheon.
Okay, Lionel. I'm looking for.
So,
What'd you think?
so by the time we get to Game of Thrones, Jamie, a Baratheon is king.
Oh, okay.
But
Well, I like
that'll
He's
be
funny.
in 90 years.
Yeah. Well, so this guy in the other episode let Dunk stay when he admitted that he was there just for the food, even though he didn't bring him a gift. But he's been hanging out with them and getting drunk with them and getting them to play. Is this where they play tug of war? Or was that the other episode?
That was
No,
last
that was
week.
the other episode. This is the episode where they sing a song about a whore who fists.
About the whore with 3 fingers. Yeah. And there's this whole conversation between Dunk and Egg about, did this whore really exist? And if she did, why didn't they use her real name? And it was kind of like a throwaway scene, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. And let's see what else. Okay, this fortune teller. I'm guessing, and I don't know because I don't know the story, but I'm guessing some of what she said maybe will be true. That she said about that she gave Dunk a good fortune, and for Egg said something like that he would die and people would be happy or something. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what the fortunes were, but I don't know. Is what she said, is that what happens like later on in like far down the line or something? Or
well, we can't say anything about that really. Although by the end of the episode, you have a better idea of whether any of that might or might not come true. But I forget what she says about Dunk, and then she says about Egg, like, you'll be king and everyone will hate you and you'll die or something like that, right? I forget exactly what
she said. I figured maybe he was somebody from Game of Thrones, but I guess if that's 90 years later.
Game of Thrones is 90 years later.
Yeah, he might be somebody you've heard about in Game of Thrones is what I meant. Like they might tell his story or something. I don't know. And then this guy, he wants him to go drinking with him when he intended to instead go get his shield from the puppet lady, and instead he agrees to go drink with him while Egg goes to get the shield, and they hang out. And this is where he says, that what's his name, Arian. That Arian, he obviously killed the horse on purpose, and that they aren't good knights. And that's pretty much what that conversation is. And then
he got very heated about that conversation. He went on a little rampage about the Targaryens.
Yeah, clearly does not like that family. That's for sure. And then the puppet, during the puppet show, they have more fire again, but she sees Arian in the audience and is clearly scared. And then whenever Dunk comes in, he sees Arian about to break her fingers. I don't know if it's just I didn't pick up on it, or it's just why he was saying she was a traitor. I missed kind of why the whole thing
because
went down.
He says because a dragon should always win.
Well, that was really, I thought he was being sarcastic. Okay, that was so because the dragon didn't win the story, he broke her fingers. That makes no sense, but I bet he's crazy.
So, Jamie, the Targaryens are the House of the Dragon. Their sigil is a 3-headed dragon. They were dragon riders. They had like only certain members of the family, like a dragon. It was very special to be able to ride a dragon. And didn't they say in this episode earlier or last week that Arian thinks he is the reincarnation of a dragon? Like they kind of believe like they are dragons. They're very to have a dragon lose, I guess he thinks is like a veiled political statement about, maybe not so veiled because people are kind of sick of them by this point in history. They're not a great.
He's just doing a puppet show. Who knows? I don't think he meant anything by it. Maybe she did. I don't know.
This is basically the same thing as when you draw a political cartoon of Donald Trump and then he sues your newspaper for $10 billion. Which happens almost every day.
Her fingers, hopefully.
Well, he does actually break her finger. He doesn't just threaten.
Right, he does break her finger. But either way, Dunk comes in and is like, no, and of course, defends her honor and tries to beat him up, which is not a good thing.
Yes, Kimberly, Viserys, that's the right name. Viserys was Daenerys' brother, and he is kind of like him, like petty and cruel and crazy.
Well, the guards grab him, and since he punched him and knocked his tooth out, he says that he's going to knock all his teeth out. And then, before he can, Egg comes over and says that they are to stop, or he will call his father, who will stop them. And he reveals, which I did not see that coming, that he's actually Arian's brother, and he's the one they've been looking for, right? That was
Yes.
Again, I can't keep their names straight, but that's what I thought. He was the missing.
They haven't said his name yet, but they're looking. They were looking for two. They're looking for Darren and the youngest, and he's obviously.
And he shaved his head so he wouldn't have his hair wouldn't look like his brother's, as he said.
Yeah. I love that line. That was great. What happened to your hair? So I wouldn't look like you, brother.
I cut it off so I wouldn't look like you.
So my question is, I wasn't sure if I'm thinking, wouldn't he have recognized his brother? But I don't think he saw him until this point.
No.
So maybe he would have seen
it. Which is why he shaved his head.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I'd like to, so obviously, AJ, you knew what was coming. I kind of knew it was, I haven't read this book, but I figured that out and kind of figured this was what was coming. I didn't expect it to come this early in the season. I thought this might be like a last episode reveal or a penultimate episode reveal. I didn't expect it in episode 3, but I love for you, Jamie, that you didn't see it coming. And I don't know who else out there. I mean, it must have been a great reveal.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if I had watched them and like taken time to think between them, maybe I would have thought about it. But watching it all like really quick, you don't really take time to think through it.
Here's my question for you, Karen. Now knowing that Egg is a Targaryen, do you know which Targaryen he is?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know that because you've read something, or just because you know Game of Thrones?
Well, because Aegon, right? And I know there have been multiple Aegons, and so then I had to think through my Aegons pretty quickly. But he essentially is Daenerys' great grandfather, right?
That is correct. Yes,
and he will become the. And her father was the Mad King, right?
Yeah.
And
he's the Mad. Yeah, he's the Mad King's grandfather.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He is Aegon the Fifth.
Yep.
He is also known as Aegon the Unlikely because he is the fourth son of a fourth son and becomes king.
I was going to say that. Yeah, he's so far down the line of succession. Their father is the fourth son, and Aegon is the fourth of his sons.
Yeah. Yep. So I guess the idea is he doesn't like his family and he ran away for a bit.
Exactly.
Be a commoner for a little bit. So it's interesting to see. Kimberly says that she didn't see it coming either.
That's awesome.
I want to rewatch it. Yeah, that's cool. So was she predicting his son's future? I was gonna say that's a question for you guys.
Yeah, she was predicting like
she did, but didn't.
Yeah, I mean, she said you will be the king, and he is going to become the king.
But then she says that people hate him and would dance on his grave, and that part's not true. People like them.
On his grandson, they'll dance on his grandson's grave, though.
Yeah, maybe that's what she. But either way, it's interesting because obviously it's showing not everybody in that family has to be bad, and that he seems like he's.
Well, not everyone in this family is bad. I mean, if you're watching House of the Dragon, like most people are sympathetic in there. Like only a few of the kids are really like sadistic and cruel, and a lot of them aren't, right?
Okay.
Like any family.
This is what happens when you have all this inbreeding, but everyone's cheating on their spouses all the time, and they have all these bastard children who like maybe aren't as crazy because they're not as like the Targaryens for generations married brothers to sisters and cousins to cousins to maintain the purity of their line, and so they had a lot of clunkers in their family tree.
Well, he seems like he is maybe a nice. Targaryen.
Targaryen.
I get of Terrigen crystals when I say it, so that I forget what I'm saying.
I think if you were to go back now and rewatch this, you'll see it there. Like there's several scenes.
There's clues
in the first episode. In the first 2 episodes, there's a couple of scenes where Egg is recognizing knights, and he's like, "Oh, that's so and so. He's the knight of the river," and like he knows more about these people and about the rules than Dunk does. And like Dunk never really asks, like, how do you know so much, right? Like, it doesn't really occur to him that this.
I assumed it was because he liked jousting, but it was kind of a little strange. Now, did that guy with one eye, did he recognize him? Because he asked him about his hair. I don't know if that was supposed to be a clue or just kind of a throwaway thing.
Well, I don't know what you think, AJ. I think when he says what happened to your hair, it maybe is a little reminder to us, the audience, that this kid has no hair. And why does he have no hair, right?
Yeah, they never met before, so it's
Okay,
no
I just assumed with alopecia or something.
Also,
Considering he tells
also
Dunk about his hairy balls or whatever he said. I don't even remember what he said.
well, he was asking why hair is starting to grow on his balls. And he's a little right, he's a little kid. That's what he was asking. And Dunk was like, why are you asking me?
Well, the fact that he was asking it made me think that he didn't have any hair, like never grew hair on his head. Otherwise, why would he ask? But I guess he's a kid, so he's a kid.
I mean, another reason why he would not be recognized, he's not the crown prince. He's the fourth son of a fourth son. Like, he's not a person that would be paraded around and noticed at court. If you've even been to court, and like usually at court, the children are kept like away in the nursery and not like paraded around, right? So
to be fair, though, people probably die really often, and I'm sure that being the fourth son doesn't necessarily make it far from the throne. Maybe
that hair, that blonde, white blonde hair, is the mark of a Targaryen, and everyone would know right away that you're a Targaryen when they see that hair.
Yeah, I see. Kimberly says it's funny how Dunk assumed Egg was a stable boy, and then his brother did the same to Dunk. Yeah. Although I think he was pretending to be a stable boy in the case of Egg there. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he just assumed and then he went along with it.
No, because the stable boy was the innkeeper's son, and he had like just run off. He'd been out there like earlier that day. He had only just disappeared. He wasn't like, Egg was not working as the stable boy there. I think you're right. Like, Dunk assumed he was a stable boy, and then Egg like ran with it.
Okay, sure. Which also means he didn't necessarily use a cart to get there. Like he said, went in a farmer's cart. Who knows how he got there?
What I love about their dynamic is Egg is this young child, but he's wise beyond his years. And Dunk is, well, he has a nickname of Dunk the Lunk.
He's an adult, but he doesn't seem to know a lot of things of the world that maybe he should.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, for sure, their scenes together. And I'm not going to be able to pull these two actors' names out. Peter Clafley, right? And I should look. Why do I not always have all actors' names?
Peter Claffey and Dexter Soul Ansel.
Yes, their scenes together are so great. Like, one of the nicest parts. I know, Jamie, in the beginning, when you first were watching, you texted us that first episode was pretty boring, but I mean, it was. I don't know if I didn't maybe agree totally, but it was a setup. But a lot of the show is these small scenes between these two unlikely companions. Right.
Yeah, and like I said when I watched the first one, it had its moments. I did enjoy the stuff with them, but it just seemed like to me a bit slow. But by the end of the episode, I liked it, and now I like it. I mean, I'm all in. But like I said, if I was watching it on my own, I don't know if I would finish it. Not because I don't like it, but just because I watch so many things. A lot of times I have to really like something to make myself remember to go back and watch it again. But I did by the end of the third one. I do want to see what happens. And especially only 6 episodes this short. There's no reason not to finish it. And I think it's worth it. I liked it. Would this make me want to watch one of the other Game of Thrones series? No. But
very different.
It's very different. I mean,
I tried House of Dragon. If I was going to like any of them, I would have liked that because of Matt Smith, but I did not like that.
Oh, now that we know
that Matt Smith at all, he's a molester.
No, you wouldn't. Yeah.
Well,
now that we know
like
who Egg is, think back to the first episode and when he first meets Egg.
Mm-hmm.
Remember there was somebody drunk with his head on the table when Dunk went into the inn.
That was the brother.
That was Darren.
That was the brother that he split off.
The other brother that's missing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they both went to the tavern or whatever. All right, I see.
Pass on the table. Yeah.
Thanks, Dieter. Yes, everybody, please like the stream. I always forget to say that enough. Everybody like the stream. Subscribe to SciFi Vision.
So Debbie has a comment before we move on. That Jamie you highlighted, so we could put up here. So in that, I guess this is that early scene of like Egg practicing with the horse. Egg told Thunder to keep his feet under him, so I think that's predicting a fall during the joust. Yeah,
I don't want to see another horse fall. Just tell me another horse doesn't die, please.
Well, we can't tell you that because we haven't seen it before.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no
way. You know, it's funny. You saw the text that Jamie was sending, and I told her at one point, I was like, you're as bad as my kids. Watch the show.
I know. I feel like I've been on the opposite side of that lately. So, but yeah, I just don't like seeing the animals get hurt. But it is what it is. It's the kind of show it is. But hopefully, it won't be two more. He got to get his horse back, though. I would assume he would. I would hope he would.
I think that is a plot thread that you're going to have to let go.
Yeah. Well. If he doesn't, I might not be happy with it and want to see the season 2.
I think whether or not he buys back his tired old non-joustable horse is not a. I think that scene was to show more about his personality and his compassion than about a plot involving his horse.
I guess, but to me, it's an important plot.
It's a 90-page book. It was only a 90-page book. Remember that.
I guess that's true. All right. Well. I have not seen the rest, so you guys have fun, talk about the rest, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, come to Discord for our watch party of Wonder Man episode 4, 5, and 6, and then our live stream at 10:30. I've already set up the stream, so it's all good to go, and you can find the link on our YouTube, and check out our videos on the video tab, and we got more stuff going up, and hopefully we'll find out more about From tomorrow, but we'll see.
Why would we find out something tomorrow? Is there
because the official Instagram? You missed what I was saying earlier. The official Instagram page has a countdown for something. Everybody's assuming it's a trailer. I think that's probably a good assumption, but nothing's been announced of anything, so everybody's guessing everything.
You want to know what's funny? Actually, is I have this app called. No, I can't remember the name of the app. It's called TV Time, and the app has From listed as April 19th.
That I think started with Rotten Tomatoes.
It probably did start with that, but I just think it's funny because they're usually pretty. The app is usually pretty spot on.
Yeah, well, that's just look. I'm not saying that it couldn't be that date. It could be, and
I have a feeling. I think there was a leak, and that's what we're going to find out.
All I've been saying to people is, it's not official. Take it with a grain of salt because press has not gotten anything. There's been no press releases or anything. But if there's a trailer and if there's a release date, there will probably be a press release coming out tomorrow. So stay tuned to scifivision.com as well because I'll post it as soon as it goes up. As long as I'm not in the middle of doing my interview, I'll post it as soon as it goes up. Let everybody know. All right, guys. Have a good night. I am going to disconnect and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Good night.
I'm just sending a text to you and Jamie real quick, AJ. Which should we talk about?
Let's do Starfleet, but before we do, I just want to let you know before the podcast tonight.
Yes.
I watched the trailer for the next season of Monarch.
Oh yeah, that has a trailer.
Oh yeah, the trailer just dropped today. It looks amazing. It's going to be such a great season.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. That show was a pleasant.
And then we'll talk about it on here.
Yeah. All right, so let's take Starfleet Academy. Let me get into the media assets here and get ourselves set up here. This episode is basically about the debate club, not the club. Everybody, it looks like it's a class, like everybody has to take debate. So I mean, that's the overall storyline, and it basically is a Jaden story, right? Jaden is like the main. He's like the main character, really, in the. I wouldn't necessarily call it. It's not like a standalone. Other kids are in it. It takes place in school, but this is really his episode, right? So, how did you like it?
I liked it. I thought it was kind of obvious. I knew what they should do before they did it. I was saying the whole time, I'm like, why not just start a fight with the Klingons and be like, you can't have this planet.
And then they'll want the planet.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like how they're. I mean, obviously, they're carrying over the canon or the storylines that were set up in Discovery, and this part where post burn the Klingon Empire is almost extinct, right? The Klingon as a people and as a civilization are almost extinct. And Jaden is the only Klingon at Starfleet Academy. Although it seems like almost everyone is the only one of their kind at Starfleet right now. But so you figured it out ahead of time. It was kind of not the most. I mean, this show is not the most twisty, mystery-wise, right? Not that hard to figure out. I thought it was a pretty decent episode. I think a first season like this is going to have a lot of these like character-centric.
Oh yeah.
Development episodes, right?
Absolutely. No, I mean, overall, I like the episode. I mean, like I said, that whole part was kind of obvious, but the storyline itself was really intriguing. You know, we learn a little bit more about oh crap, I can't think of her name. Holly Hunter. Can't think of her character's name now.
Oh yeah.
You know, she had a thing with a Klingon once upon a time.
Oh yeah, the guy who's like the de facto leader of the Klingons now. There wasn't a picture of them in the press thing, I don't think. That they they dated in the past. It seems like, right? Or
there definitely had some. There was definitely something there.
Yeah. But it was sort of like an unrequited. Like she mentioned, he says to her something like, "I knew you would never leave your starship," and there's also some reference to like the ways that like he had some needs in the relationship that she couldn't meet either, right? So they were kind of doomed, but there's still that little bit of spark there, right? And they get all drunk together, like so a lot of the show, like this is only episode 4, and I feel like this is at least the second time that Captain Nala had a huge hangover from like drinking with people, diplomatic drinking at night. It's actually this shot where I have this shot here that of the teachers who are, they're watching the debate, but I think Laura sits down and says, "You look terrible. Do you have a hangover?" And Nala says, "No," but she does. So yeah, I liked it also. I don't know, like, there's not a ton to recap in this episode, I feel like, right? Because it's all about, like, we have our shy Klingon who is terrified of public speaking, which is something that I think most people can relate to. That he gets, like, basically a panic attack, right? And can't articulate anything. How did you like the flashback?
Informational, you know, it was, you know, it's interesting. You know, the Klingons are an interesting race because they've gone through so many changes since since the original series.
Yeah.
So I think it's really awesome that I like how his brother is like, you know, you are a warrior of knowledge and math and, you know, and all these other things, you know. So I thought that was pretty cool. I also like later when, you know, as we see the flashbacks with him, when Laura tells him that his father missed on purpose, you know, when you see things from a different perspective, you know, Klingons try to be all hard and shit, but, you know, at their core, they're not much different than everybody else when it comes to family.
Yeah.
They just have different ways of showing it.
Yeah. Yeah, Laura's like, there's no way he ever could have missed the shot, right? Which, I mean, I don't know about that. Is she saying that no Klingon ever misses a shot ever? But that was kind of interesting that she says that it was the father's way of letting him, like, accepting who he was. And then they had also left him, right? So after this, like, big dispute with the Hunt, I thought, you're not a warrior. They take his family, like, takes off on their ship and just leaves him there, right? It was really harsh and horrible. And I was at the time thinking, did they leave him on this planet by himself? Like, what's going on here? But Laura also says to him, like, they left you there so you could become who you needed to be. Like, they were letting you go. in their very in their Klingon-y way, right? Which is not a very nice way. I like these Klingons. So do you remember the first season of Discovery focused? So was the first season, or the second season that was? I felt like the dialogue was almost entirely in Klingon that season. It was so much about the Klingons, and Burnham was that guy who was brainwashed by the Klingons, and I hated that season. I feel like the Klingons, like the Discovery era Klingons, have evolved a little bit more into characters that I can like understand and get behind a little bit more. I know they were like the big bad and the big villain in that season, right? I'm going to the comments real quick that B thought it was so obvious what was coming with the solution with the Klingons that you mentioned earlier, the solution to the planet. B liked this episode more than the last one. I think I've liked episodes 2 and 4 the best so far, but I've liked all of them. The last one was like going out for the sports team and the prank war against the other college.
Yeah, I agree. I think this one was better. Yeah, this one was better than the last one. I've liked them all, but she's right. This one was definitely
a little better. And she thinks it does make sense that the Klingon tough love weirdness that they have, that they like left them on the planet. That's how they were. That was their tough love, but they trusted that he was going to get where he needed to be. I guess they could just never. I guess they could know that Starfleet Academy was a good place for him, but they could never bring themselves to be like, yes, our Klingon son should go to Starfleet, right? These Klingons, I feel like the Discovery era and now the post-Burn era Klingons hate the Federation even more than like the original series Klingons did, right?
Yeah, it's like you're never going to have that same rivalry that you did with Kirk.
Yeah.
You know, because everything's changed so much since then.
Right. But like we have these guys would rather, in this episode, they basically would rather become extinct than like accept any help from the Federation.
Yeah. That's how it's always been, though.
Well, yeah. And they were like, we cannot use any Federation technology to heal your brother. They appear to be without technology on this planet. The Klingons had like replicators and their own versions of that stuff too, right? But I guess these guys post-Burn, they're just sort of like, they're refugees, right? And they have nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's only 8 houses left. I mean, that's a lot. You know, I mean, that's saying a lot for Klingons.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's all paralleled by Jaden refusing to take any help from any of his friends who are like, I don't know how Thunder came up there. Let me get rid of that comment. Why is it there? Why won't it go away? Hide current comment. Oh my God, what is happening? What is happening?
That was me. That was my fault. I was trying to help, and then you got it right before I did.
So Jaden also won't take any help from Caleb or any of his other friends either. Like he's being very Klingon-y about it and being like, I suck at this, but I'm not letting you help me, right?
Well, you know, to be fair, I think it was kind of inconsiderate of Caleb to assume that Jaden would need him in the first place, or that they were on the same wavelength about how it should be.
Oh, that they would both want to argue the same side of the argument.
Yeah.
That they would both argue. Yeah, it's funny that Caleb would even argue. Caleb, who also was like in episode 1, is a very anti-Federation guy himself, right? And very not wanting to accept anything. And the Federation ruined his life. And he spent his short life in Federation prisons a lot of the time. And now he's very like, the Federation should take care of everyone. But he also, I think, Caleb is there's a part of him that's about learning everything he can and about winning. And if he has to be here, he's just going to like ace everything and like make the argument, you know, pick the argument that's the winning argument that he thinks, that's the prevailing feeling of everybody. I'm not saying he was being so super calculating about it like that, but I mean, he also had no real love for the Federation in episode 1. right? I mean, he hated the Federation.
Still doesn't really.
Yeah.
But it's definitely mellowed a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love the Doctor, and we all love everything about the Doctor in every episode, right?
Oh yeah, the Doctor is always fun.
And he's got his like Jeopardy buzzer there that he's like judging all the cadets. I love that he's getting so much screen time also, right? That the Doctor is really like a good part of this. I enjoyed him in this, and the classes they give him to teach are, it's funny because he's a doctor. He's not teaching like medicine. He's teaching debate. He's teaching public speaking. He's teaching opera. He's teaching like a lot of other, a lot of like soft skill kind of things.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys like this, I'm interested to see how you're going to like, I've seen next week's episode already. And it has a similar, but okay, I'm going to say this and this makes no sense and tell me to shut up. It's similar, but very different.
That makes plenty of sense.
So I guess, I don't know, do we about cover it? Does anybody have other things they want to say about it? This is not the most, this was not loaded with a lot of subtext.
No, it was pretty straightforward this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have this picture that I didn't put this one picture, which I'd like, I just picked this photo because I love it. Holly Hunter is so little. She's such a tiny, I don't even know how tall she is in real life, but she's not a tall person. And Klingons are supposed to be like 7 feet tall, right? They're very tall. But I love this shot of the two of them having a conversation and how she has to like really like, I'd love to like hear, like see how the director and the cinematographer set this up and how they shoot this and do this with like two characters have to fit in the frame that are very different, right? Physically and how you make it work. I love that shot of the two of them together.
Has she always been that short, or has she shrank over time?
I don't know.
Because I don't remember her being that short earlier in her career. I
mean, she's with a very, I'm Googling right now, Holly Hunter height.
While you're doing that, I'm going to put up, the Federation had cloaking technology, but the Federation outlawed it. I forget the reason. Some reason, reason behind it's not nice to play hide and seek or something. Karen, maybe you remember. Why did the Federation outlaw cloaking?
I can't remember.
But it was something about it went against the policies of the Federation.
Yeah. I don't really know why they would. It seems like it would put you at a disadvantage.
But that was kind of the thing. Like, we're not going to be like the Klingons. We're not going to sneak attack our enemies.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
So in real life, according to the internet, which is always a little wrong, Holly Hunter is 5'2", and Kareem, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, maybe Kareem Dion or Diane. It's spelled like Diane. He's from Washington, D.C. He is listed at 6'2". These characters obviously more. He does wear big clumpy shoes. If you ever get a close up with this guy's feet, he's always got big clumpy shoes on, Klingon shoes. And I guess he's lifted a little to make him a little taller because 6'2" is not that tall for a Klingon. 6'2" is like a short Klingon, right? So, they're a foot apart in real life, the two actors, and then they're giving him a little boost there probably because he's a Klingon.
So I just Googled, and the Federation agreed to outlaw cloaking in the Treaty of Alderaan, which was a pact they made with the Romulans.
Oh, okay. Pact with the Romulans. Okay, thank you for reminding us of that.
I didn't remember that myself until I just read it.
Yeah. Interesting.
No, you didn't lose your card.
I thought they didn't have it when they met the Klingons. I've lost my Star Trek nerd card. No. If you're here tonight listening to us talk about this and commenting with us, then you're still a Star Trek nerd for sure.
So
more so than I am. So
all right, if we have nothing else, I guess
nice little character building episode. Because we're still really getting to know all these kids. And I haven't seen the whole season. I have seen the next one, but I would imagine that everyone's going to get a little like moment, a little episode of their own. Like Jaden has this episode of his own, and like is everybody going to get a little like character building episode of their own? At some point.
It's been very, very Star Trekky lately. I mean, Strange New Worlds did the same thing this past season.
Yeah, highlighted a lot of different people.
So all right.
So now we're going to take
Night Manager.
The season finale of the Night Manager.
What did you think, Karen? Were you as pissed off as I was?
I was really pissed off. I have to say that partway through the episode, I was like, wow, they're really killing a lot of people. This is the season finale, right? Like, I was kind of surprised. They like wiped the board clean. Like, they really killed a lot of people. It definitely feels like there's got to be another season coming because
there is.
Well, I didn't know. Oh yeah, it was renewed for 2 when it got renewed, right?
Yeah, when they renewed it. Yeah, I mean they're already filming season 3.
Yeah, but the way it ends, there's no way. In no way could this episode be any type of. There's no satisfaction at all in this. Sometimes a season finale can serve as a series finale if it had to, or if you never watch or. Like, there's nothing sathing about like the good guys.
No,
lose. The good guys. Lose.
Yeah, completely. It's so funny because I remember last week you saying, "Oh, they're going to thwart them. There's no way that Dickie, gets." And I'm sitting there going, I was so pissed. Like they got me. I honestly believe that they hijacked the plane, that the government was going to get it.
Yep.
And then Dickie pulls out the radio and he's like, "Guess what?" And I was just like, and it's funny too, because I was expecting something very similar to season 1, where you had a definitive ending, and then season 3 was going to pick up at a different, whatever, and to continue the story. I was not expecting Dickie to win, and I'm yelling at not Diego. I'm yelling at Teddy to shoot him, but he's not going to.
Me too. I think
And then he shot Teddy, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I think I shouted at my TV like, "Shoot him! Just shoot him!" Right? That Teddy. I did say. I think it was last week I said to you that I believe Teddy would die.
You did say it last week.
I did call it that Teddy would die. He kind of had to.
And so anybody doesn't know, I interviewed Diego Calva at the beginning of January before the show even premiered. And I had watched all 6 episodes before interviewing him. So we just talked about the entire 6 episodes, which is why Jamie hasn't put it up yet. So definitely go watch the interview because it's really interesting to hear Diego's thoughts on Teddy.
On Teddy, yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes like to inhabit a character, the actor has to see it from the character's point of view, and every character thinks they're the good guy, right?
Well, he kind of did it both ways. My question, I remember exactly how I phrased the question, but I did say you're probably biased, but is there any sympathy for Teddy being that he's not really a good person? And his answer is really good. The way he put it, it wasn't just because he played Teddy. It was in general about anybody that. We talked about it last week, how Teddy is somewhat sympathetic given the life that he, grew up in. He was just trying to please his daddy, who was never going to accept him.
Yeah. I mean, daddy issues can't explain it entirely. Like, not everybody becomes like a major criminal. Well, his father's a major criminal. So I guess,
Yeah, how do you impress Dickie Roper? Without becoming a major crime lord.
Yeah, your father's a billionaire arms dealer. Yeah, how do you impress Dickie? You have to get into his business.
For me, the real shock was at the very end of the episode when they killed
Angela.
My jaw literally hit the floor.
I couldn't believe that.
I literally like I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, and then I was like I literally mouth agape. I was like, Like, I did not see that coming at all. Everything else, I was like, holy crap. But that blew my mind. I could not believe they killed her.
Even so, except for even the last thing Roper says to her is, maybe I'll see you in France. And then, and then I guess that was our foreshadow there, that he was going to have her killed.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised, because Olivia Colman had a total of like 6 minutes of screen time this season. She was really not in the show at all, right? And
well, that's why I was kind of hoping to see more of her in season 3, since it's obviously going to shift back to the UK.
Yeah,
because Roper's new estate.
Since we saw so little of her this season, yeah. Oh yeah, to be back in the UK, and she's in France, so she could participate better than like.
Yeah, it's a little easier than Colombia.
Yeah.
Oh, and my favorite, your favorite person, Roxana there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Jesus,
where
that
are you?
woman,
Roxy, boy, she chose the wrong horse, right? Like, she betrayed Matthew at the last minute, and like,
which he totally saw coming.
Oh yeah, she went to Roper and like tried to like help him, and they both sort of kicked her to the curb. Well, Roper lets her live, right? Roper leaves her in the house by herself and lets her live. He's got bigger fish to fry. And then, you know, she tries to set Matthew up to get. That was a great scene, I thought. I don't have any pictures of it, but the scene where she's calling him on the phone to be like, I got away, come help me. And they're really setting up Matthew to get shot to be killed, right? But Matthew, as always, is too smart, right?
Yeah.
Which, of course, you should be looking for a setup. Of course, you should be thinking that she's about to set you up. It's Roxana, right? I mean, she's definitely about to set you up.
You know what I liked, though, was when she's talking to Roper. I love that line about, you know, she's like, I could have slept with him at any time. She's like, but I didn't, because I wasn't going to do that. She's like, I'm not the one whose heart was corrupted by him. Yeah. However, I don't remember exactly how she put it, and that's when Dickie's like, "Oh crap."
You're not the one who lost their heart, or I like the way.
Yeah, lost their heart to him, and that's when Dickie was like, that. All of a sudden, Dickie was like, "Oh crap, Teddy."
Yeah. And I don't think she really meant like that Teddy literally like fell in love with him, but that he was taken in, fell for his story.
I think she kind of did. Because I mean, from the moment that Teddy meets Matthew, whatever the hell we're calling him, you could tell there was definitely an attraction there.
Oh yeah, and I'm forgetting about the weird 3-way dance scene they had earlier in the season. Yeah, there was like a kind of
Teddy was definitely enamored with Matthew.
With Matthew, yeah. So I mean, she's left alive at the end. I would assume I would not see her in season 3. I think she's done, right? She's lucky to get out with her life, and somebody might kill her eventually anyway. Like, not to say that Roper wouldn't have her killed, right? I mean,
I could see her in season 3 because Roper is not one to not use an asset that he has.
Yes, and they haven't had like a real full-on sex scene yet, so you know, there's that.
and they never will. There's no way that Jonathan is ever going to trust her.
Yeah, there's no way. So yeah, she's the only one who's left alive. Well, so Myra, I thought Myra was going to die by the end of this because she's terrible person, terrible character, and she gets away with everything by the end of it, right?
Well, yeah, because Dickie lived.
Because Dickie lived, right? Yeah.
Because Dickie won, so there was no way that, I mean, who was going to stop her at that point? He won.
Yeah. So the only people left alive. So now Sally is still alive, right? And Jonathan.
Yeah, we still have Sally.
And Angela's dead. Basil is dead. Like, we're setting up for Jonathan / Matthew to go into season 3 with like really no support at MI6. Well, first of all, MI6 thinks he's dead. Like, does he still work for MI6? I don't know. Like he like.
Well, it depends because Moira knows he's alive. But has she told anybody else?
But Moira's not going to take him back to work for her because he.
No, absolutely not. No, I mean she didn't like him in the first place because she was a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Like, and most of MI6, I mean, the rest, they faked his death and told everybody he was. So is he like, is a season 3 like going to be him like personally coming after Roper again? I want to come back. I've saved this picture from last week because the meeting at the 2 episodes ago, the meeting at the restaurant becomes a key point in this whole like jungle mess that goes on, right? It was kind of genius the way, I don't know when Matthew had the time to like, you know how he also doctored the recordings from the dog and he like doctored the recording a little bit to make it sound like
even worse.
Even worse, right? Yeah. And basically he is using those recordings to convince the minions, the henchmen in the jungle, that it is Roper who was setting them up and Roper who's betrayed them. I thought it's too complicated to recount here, but I thought it was kind of a really great twist in the story.
Oh yeah, and that's what I like about this. Is, it's a spy thriller, and you got those you got your twists and turns, but they're never so outlandish. They're all within the confines of the story.
They're not like certain other
not where I was going with it, but yeah,
certain other things that we watch where there's a twist that there's no way you could possibly ever have figured it out or seen it coming, or it makes no sense at all. Like okay, like the end of Runaway, right? Not Runaway, the end of that thing we just watched, His and Hers, where there's this extra twist at the end that you're like, nobody could ever have seen that coming, right?
Yeah.
And all of this sort of made sense, and felt really. So I liked all this bit in the jungle, and I liked how Jonathan and Teddy like had those guys really convinced. It almost worked out, except for the switcheroo with the plane.
Yeah, that had me floored. I was like, I could not believe that Dickie was going to win. Like, I expected him to get away so that we had a season 3. I was not expecting him to actually win today. That so surprised. I was so pissed. I was so angry. I just sat here, and especially after Angela was shot and the credits roll, and I just sat on my couch and I just stared at the TV for like 10 minutes, and I was just like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, how could they do this to me?
Yeah, and there was voiceover of the news commentary saying that like a civil war was breaking out in Colombia because of the loss of like the power blackout. They detonated the EMP that plunged the country into chaos, city into chaos. And then, I mean, it's a little thin there how that becomes civil war right away. But I mean, I guess.
Well, we also don't know how much time could have passed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we don't know how.
Like they had their army, they just needed the cover of like
exactly.
Their army. But not only does he get away, he gets away. Yeah, I thought he'd get away, but he wins. He gets everything he wants, and then he's like showing up in England like he never was a wanted criminal in a Syrian prison. Who like now he just goes walking around
because he got to pay them back.
Well, yeah, he paid those guys back, so they won't be trying to kill him, but. Like I guess he was never convicted by anybody in a Western court of law. Like, I guess
no, because he was arrested. He was arrested in Cairo, immediately grabbed by the Syrians.
Yeah.
So he never actually went. You know what I mean? Like, and then they think he's dead, and now, I mean, he might have a fake ID now for all we know. Who knows?
Yeah. So he kills his one son. Like, I knew Teddy was going to die. Did I think it was going to be his father putting like literally a bullet in his head? I don't know. I mean, that was pretty cold. I mean, we knew that Roper was using Teddy and like using Teddy's like desperate need for approval and love from him, right? But it was so cold to see him shoot Teddy and kill him, and then 5 minutes later he shows up outside Danny's school and is like picking up Danny and being like, all right, let's go to our new house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for season 3.
Yeah, and now I think like whatever I thought about Danny, like I know they can't like do the same storyline of like
No.
of Jonathan trying to turn Danny against
You know,
Roper, right?
That's where I'm a little disappointed actually, because Jonathan can't do his normal shtick where he infiltrates with with his fake aliases and everything, because it's not going to work on Roper again. He knows who he is, you know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how season 3 plays out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's going to be a different dynamic because we're going to be coming at it from a different angle, because it almost reversed. Because Jonathan, for more, for better or worse, is kind of the one on the run now.
Yeah.
And the one hiding out.
Yeah. Because certainly he turned down Dickie's offer of like, first of all, I can't believe that when Dickie was like, "Oh, Jonathan, I'll give you $50 million to just walk away or to join me, and we can do so many great things together." And I was like, $50 million is like what? Like he's a multi-billionaire, and he's only offering Jonathan. Oh, there's no amount of money that Jonathan would take, right?
No. Jonathan's not taking. Yeah, he's not taking anything.
50 million was pretty chintzy, I think.
And you know what? And the funny thing is, I questioned in that scene if Roper actually believed there was a chance, because he's so arrogant, or if he was just toying with him. But I mean, he does say in that last episode, Jonathan, he's like, I was serious about giving you the money.
Well, and when he offered him the money, he did say, like, Jonathan, I know you, and I can see you like the good champagne, you like the nice hotels. Like the whole time he was gallivanting around with him in season 1, like he's not wrong that Jonathan, like, okay, but who doesn't like good?
You know what? Though? I think he is wrong though, because I think Jonathan's just that good at playing the part.
Yeah, I mean,
because think about it. Afterwards, I mean, Jonathan's in the shadows. He had, you know what I mean? It wasn't until he saw Dickie's henchman that he got all amped up again. He was, think about his life before everything happened. He was a night manager at a hotel in Cairo.
At a really nice hotel that rich people stayed in, right?
And
a really nice hotel in Switzerland that like international arms dealers hang out at. He's not like a manager of a Howard Johnson's, but
right.
but
that's what I'm saying. He didn't need the limelight. You know what I mean?
Well, and I guess it's kind of a dumb thing to say, because of course I'd rather who wouldn't want to have good champagne,
right?
Bad champagne. Yes. And a nice watch versus a swatch, right? Or not the swatch.
Hey, swatches are cool.
I have a swatch, but a Rolex. Yeah.
So
yeah, it was
all in all, really, really strong show. I was disappointed to see Teddy die, because I was really interested. I would have been interested to see where that story would have gone, given how things went.
If he could have become partnered with Jonathan.
Exactly. Does he stay partnered with Jonathan, trying to take him down? Do they go? Are they both going after Dickie from different angles? I thought that could have been interesting story, but unfortunately, that did not come to pass.
I'm sorry, but you can't like recruit child soldiers and live, right? Like your character can't be like
Dickie lived.
For now, he lived for now, but he was like, there were like, what they asked one kid how old they were, and they're like 13, right? He's like literally recruiting 13-year-olds to be in his child soldier army. He's not a good guy. He's just good compared to his horrendous father. He just seems like a good guy because his father is Dickie Roper.
Played brilliantly by Hugh Laurie.
Oh yeah, I think season 1 was stronger, but I think this was a good, strong season also, especially considering that they didn't have John le Carré to work with on the second season.
It's possible she occasionally does but it could be your head too.
No, I heard the echo on myself also, especially sometimes when I get loud, it gets worse. I heard it, and now I don't hear it.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
Um,
I didn't notice it at all, even if it was there.
yeah.
So anyway, a little shorter show tonight with fewer shows.
Before we
be
hang
back
up,
tomorrow.
I watched a new show. Peacock has a new. Speaking of spy shows, they have a new show called Ponies. Have you seen it advertised?
You know, I actually watched it already.
Yeah, I watched it already
It's
too.
cute. It's like, you know what it is? Because when you watch something else, you know, you get commercials for that, mostly, you know, usually for that channel. And I saw the commercial like 15 times, and I was like, all right, you know what? Amelia Clark's in it. I love her. And Haley Lee Richards, is that her name?
Haley Richardson, yeah.
Richardson. She was in the White Lotus, and I really enjoyed her character in White Lotus season 2. Season 2? Season 3. Season 2.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
She was in season 2. And I really enjoyed her in that. So I was like, you know what? I'll check it out. And I watched the first episode, and I was like, it's all right. You know, it's not bad. And I just kept watching. And I was like, it's, what was it, 8 episodes?
Yeah.
So I was like, Yeah, it was cute.
I mean, it's clearly teed up for a second season.
Well, yeah.
It was cute. If I have one criticism, I mean, so it's not a spoiler to say the premise is that these two women with no skills are recruited to work for the CIA in the 1970s in Moscow, right? Pony stands for person of no interest. We've all seen it advertised.
Oh, ponies.
Yeah. They get a little too competent by the end of it. Like the earlier episodes where they have no idea what they're doing, they only have a little idea what they're doing by the end of it. But I like their they become a little.
Yeah, I agree. I was a little disappointed that they got a little too confident at the end, because what I enjoyed from the trailer was when Haley Lou Richardson's character burnt down the bar. That's in the part of that scene is in the trailer when they're walking away from the bar. And I was like, this looks like it's gonna be kind of funny, you know?
Yeah. And when she
and there was a lot of funny moments, but
yeah, it was cute. It was cute, and it was I mean, I don't consider it like Emmy award-winning material, but I think it was cute and a fun watch, and especially while I'm on this like spy show kick right now, right?
While you're on a spy show kick, watch Copenhagen Test. That Copenhagen Test is really good.
Really? Okay, because the trailer to me made it sound like kind of dumb, but I'll check it out.
No, it's really good. I mean, it's got Simu Liu in it. Come on.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So we'll be back next week. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, and Kathleen Chalfant's in it, and I spoke to her. That Jamie should be probably putting that one up tomorrow.
Okay. All right. I'll check it out. Since we're low on shows while we have another 2 weeks, I think, before Paradise returns, right? So next week we're back with Starfleet Academy, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I don't know if anything new is debuting next week, or we're waiting for I think the week after next is Paradise.
I think give me a second and I'll let me see my list of stuff here.
Paradise season 2.
Yeah, Paradise is in almost 3. Paradise is 20 days away.
Yeah, February 23rd. So we'll have another short show next week while we wait for.
And then Monarch is 24 days away.
All right. So we're heading into some new stuff, you guys. Stuff that I think a lot of you guys watch.
2 to 3 weeks, we'll have more stuff.
I think most of our regular viewers watch Paradise or Monarch or both. So
yes,
get ready. Read your recaps of last season. Get ready.
And then Born Again in 48 days.
Then what? Oh, who?
Born Again. Daredevil.
Oh, Daredevil. Yeah, not my favorite, but
Ooh, and Karen, I didn't even know that this was even anywhere close. For All Mankind in 51 days.
How many years has it been since?
I don't know.
That was such a good show, but it's been. Has it been like? It's been years.
Hold on, I'll tell you it in a second when it was last on.
All Mankind.
January 12th, 2024 was the last episode.
No way. Only 2 years, really. It feels like 5 years.
That's long enough.
I know. And in between each season, they jump like 10 years. Joel Kinnaman's going to have like some real.
Joel Kinnaman's going to be dead by this season.
Might be. He might be. He was like such an old man in the last season.
He wasn't. He was like what, mid to late 50s in season 4, right?
He looked older. I'm in my mid to late 50s, and I look way better than he did in that season.
That's fair. He might have been. All right, he might have been. Yeah, but you got to remember what year it is that they're portraying. So people used to look older.
Yeah, they have better health, live longer. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a great show. If anybody, I mean, there's probably not time to watch all the seasons and catch up, but that's a really good show. If anybody's looking for a show about,
there's plenty of time. 51 days.
Yeah,
4 seasons, 10 episodes season.
Yeah, you can do it. Get watching, people. Get watching. Hopefully we can get some. We got some interviews for that in the past, so maybe Apple will bring us back into the family for some interviews.
Oh, cool.
This time. Yeah. So.
All right, folks.
Alrighty.
That's a wrap.
All right, that's a wrap. Thanks everybody for being here. Make sure you like and subscribe before you leave. And
These people have already done that.
I know.
They know the drill.
Yep. And go over to scifivision.com to see AJ's interviews for Copenhagen Test and Starfleet Academy. They should be up imminently, right? And join us tomorrow for our Wonder Man show.
Yay.
Yay. All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.